Lagos State is arguably the most economically important state and the nation's largest urban area. It is one of the smallest in area among Nigeria's states, but generates the largest amount of industrial and residential waste, estimated at over 9,000 metric tons daily. With this huge challenge of waste generation, how has the Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA, been able to cope with the menace of poor waste disposal in the state?
Lagos is the commercial nerve center of the nation. That tells you that the economy of Lagos is growing. And I can feel it because I'm on the field, and it's almost astronomical in the last 3-4 years, the rate of growth of economic development activities in Lagos. And one of the indicators is this affluence, which you see in the feeding habit and the rest of it. So you have less people taking pure water on the field right now. Those who used to sell pure water, they now sell bottled waters right now. So the disposable income is getting higher, and people can afford to a bit of luxury right now. And these are the kind of thing that is showing on the kind of the sophistication of the waste. And our recycling plan too is looking in that direction. We can see the level of the affluence is reflecting from the waste basket. What we now see in the waste basket is not different from what we used to see. Gone are the days where we see a lot of vegetables, a lot of leaves that they use in packing food. You don't see such things again. You have now a higher level of a higher number of PVC, higher number of PET bottles, and packaging products are changing. And most of the products that are changing, they are not degradable. All right, so the next thing we can do is to get them reused or transformed through recycling into other purposeful use.
In a bid to ensure attainment of the proposed Africa Model Megacity and a cleaner environment, LOMA received approval to work with the private sector in 2007 to allow proper waste management.
When you look at the framework, the business framework for waste management, really, government role through LOMA is to create opportunities for the private investors to come in and do most of these things. So we are facilitators, so to say. We encourage the private sector to bring in their fund, and we provide for them all the necessary resources required, and land, and even some of them will guarantee power for them, and we encourage them, and we play the loss leader there actually, so that we can create jobs and get environmental benefits and get security benefits and develop the economy. So if you look at the growth in the economy really, and the waste management aspect of it, you know that it's a huge one. A few years ago, we had less than 2,000 people working in waste management. Right now, we have more than 27,000 people working directly on waste management, both in the city cleansing, household evacuation of waste, landfill management, recycling in various forms. And that is outside the informal sector. If you have to add the informal sector, it's a lot higher than that. So the informal sector has not been added into it. And when you look at the volume of transaction that is going on daily basis from this sector, it's huge. It's huge, and I'm sure it will have added its own value to the state GDP and the rebased economy that we said we have.
In compliance with the aim of providing efficient and sustainable waste management service to all Lagosians, the state's Waste Management Authority has equally embarked on its latest strategy of combating waste in Lagos State with a recycling bank.
Those who are established right now, we have close to about 3 or 4 companies who are fully established recycling, and we have a larger number who probably package and for export. So we still export these PET bottles, and we're almost rounding up one of the biggest factory that will be around. It's a material recovery facility, an automated center where all these plants, all these materials will be recovered, and we'll be able to ship them to countries that want to recycle them and those that will be recycled locally.
But how does this recycling hub function?
We use this place as a depot station. That anytime the boys goes out to collect materials from the customers, we dump everything here for sorting. That is why we call it an hub.
How do you get all these PET bottles from the streets, from the canals, to get to this place?
We have our customers. We have designated customers that we go to them every day to collect it from them. At the end of each day, if we collect from the customers, at the end of each day, they send their points to their phone. We collect their name. If we want to register the customers, we collect their name, their details, name, home address, and the phone number. So it is the phone number that we use to send the points to them at the end of each day. Anything we collect from them, we calculate everything and send it to them. No, at the end of each 3 months, we give out gifts to customers. We give out household items like TV, blender, a toasting machine, plastic, and other things. As this one is going now, we have about 1 ton plus there, over 8 tons.
So in a day, how many tons do you take out from this up to the recycling center?
Sometimes 2 tons, sometimes 3 tons. It depends on how we do it, but sometimes it's 3 tons.
To keep the environment cleaner by preventing the waste from becoming uncontainable and spilling into houses, industries, forests and water sources, there is need for some measures which could lead up to the process of recycling.
Recycling is actually the usage of materials that seemingly look unuseful after the consumer must have used it. For example, you take a bottle of drink and you've taken the liquid content, you don't want the plastic container, or it's a canned drink, or it's even paper or glass, and you think it's no longer useful, and then you put it in a general bin. Recycling would encourage sorting of those wastes into different components such that it can be picked and it can be used for something much more useful.
In terms of recycling, I recently watched on a YouTube a video of a PET bottle, how that a PET bottle have up to 7 life cycles. It could be used after being used as a can, it could be used, recycled again as a can, it could be recycled as a toy, it could be converted back, as in melted back into other product and used in another way. So, and these things actually mop up the waste from our ecosystem and put it back into effective use.
We have a buyback program. The buyback program, we buy pure water sachet, we buy PET bottles, we buy cartons from people, and even glass bottles. We buy the pure water sachet at 30 naira per kg, the PET bottles also at 30 naira per kg, and the glass and the cartons at 10 naira per kg.
This is the process of recycling of PET bottles in the state.
Alchem Nigeria Limited, we commenced this recycling initiative in 2005, and we are the pioneer recyclers in this country, and we are producing polyester fiber, and from there we are also producing non-woven products, which is a value-added product, and we have set up collection centers all over Lagos, and we have seen a quantum leap in terms of the waste management, which is being done by Lama. They engage people who will bring the bottles to them, and they are doing the sorting, removing the labels and caps, and we are equipped them with the baler, a generator, a truck, and everything, and they are baling the bottles, and our trucks goes there and brings back the bales in the bale form which we had seen, and then we sort, and it goes to a wet grinder, and from the grinder it goes to the flotation tank where all the rings and the non-PET material is removed, and it goes to a hot wash system where it is washed with then steam and detergent, so that it becomes clean at the end, what we had seen, and it is extruded for the further process.
Lagos has also started electricity generation from refuse under its waste to energy program. At Kosi Plantain Market, fruit waste is now being recycled to generate power.
So from here we now go to the ground, the place. So that's the way they always bring. Okay, it's fruit that we're going to dry. It's fruit. Hey. So easy.
They have to cut it into sizable chunks for it to be better.
So now this one, I didn't get them.
And it's waste to them.
Okay.
They are eager to get it off their neck because for them it's waste.
So which
So
one?
they are
Those
so eager.
oranges.
They bring it.
So we can even go to the market and pick some. Put your water.